had the distinct pleasure of speaking to college students across the United States. And in doing so, I have noticed a common theme. I have seen their passion, excitement, and enthusiasm in their eyes for their futures. It got me thinking, what would I say to my former student self? Or more importantly, what would I have wanted someone to say to me? I choose to put this in the form of a letter, as many of the most important messages ever relayed were delivered this way, from Martin Luther King Jr. to Bill Gates to Helen Keller. And their words live on, imprinted on the pages for us to go back to, reflect on, be inspired by. So what would I say to anyone about to embark on their own life's mission? Dear college graduate, congratulations. I cannot tell you what an amazing ride you are in for. You are at a pivotal point in your lives where the choices and decisions that you make will set the course for the rest of your life moving forward. The choice is yours alone to make. You are the captain of your ship, and you alone hold the power. You must define your purpose, and you must choose your perspective of how to view the world around you. Is the glass half full or half empty? Is the grass on the other side of the fence greener, or in fact, under your own 2 feet? Do you curse the rain or praise it for bringing you beautiful flowers? I would encourage you in your life to always focus on the positive. And I say this to you because I have had to choose that perspective, and it is a choice. This letter is broken into 4 parts, 4 key components that I have found to be crucial in my life. Choosing your purpose, choosing your perspective, choosing to overcome, and choosing hope. Life is all about choice. So what would I say to my former student self? Now, 9 years later, here's what I would say. And in saying it, I share my story. My story as a teacher, as a learner, as a leader, my story as a survivor. I share it with you because I know it will make a difference in how you view each minute, each moment, and each day when you are truly aware that life can change in an instant. I share it with you because in life we each have a purpose. Mine has always been to be an educator and a teacher. Choosing your purpose. My story today is one of an educator. It is who I have always been at my core. Even before high school or college, I knew that my passion was to work with children. This guided me in every choice and decision that I made. We each have goals and ambitions at our core, and it is of the utmost importance that we strive to define them, for it is only then that we are able to actively pursue them. What is a teacher? What has it always meant to me? We know that when we are passionate about anything in life, it guides us in every choice and decision that we make, which for myself meant from the age of 10, holding literally every job that you could working with children. What has being a teacher meant to me? Here is what it always has. Teacher, noun. Definition, a person who teaches. This always resonated with me. Being a teacher means giving of yourself to your students. It means making someone else's life better. As teachers, we know that it is the first of our jobs in a long list of titles. We are our students' support, their educator, their mentor, their mediator, at times, even their parent. More importantly, we are happy to be each of these things, to wear each of these hats. We welcome the opportunity with open arms. We give our students the stability that some of them may not have at home for a wide variety of reasons. As a teacher, you also become the difference maker in your students' lives. You intervene when two of your students aren't seeing eye to eye. You enable a student struggling with self-image to find something to feel good and confident about. You build a caring community in your classroom where everyone feels safe and welcome and a part of the team. You are the difference makers. You become a teacher because you want the supreme responsibility. You want to be the good influence in your students' lives. You are aware that impacting and influencing even just one life a year is an overwhelmingly powerful gift. Becoming a teacher, you also have the responsibility of being a role model for your students. Your students will decide that they love coming to school every day because of your passion, enthusiasm, and expertise. Some of your students may even decide that they too wish to go into teaching because of your modeling. That is the ability that teachers have to inspire in ways that they may not have even been aware. The gift of being a teacher is, of course, twofold. While teachers give many gifts to their students give back tenfold. When a student hands you a homemade card, a fresh batch of cookies, or a homemade Teacher of the Year award, it is you as their teacher who receive those gifts. When a student finally does something for the very first time, learns to spell that tricky spelling word, or finally reads that chapter book that they have been struggling with for so long, it is you as their teacher who receive those gifts. It reminds me of one of my favorite sayings: the gift is truly in the giving. I was recently asked, what would the world be like without teachers? Without hesitation, I replied, it wouldn't work. Teachers are the common denominator in our world. We all start in school. You, me, actors, actresses, athletes, the President of the United States started in school, and it was teachers who enabled their dreams to come true. Teachers are why the world works. I always knew this was my dream, and my childhood dream may be quite similar to yours. I was born on October 31st, 1983. Although being that I am adopted, I did not meet my parents until December 23rd, or Kate's Day, as they aptly named it. My parents awoke filled with joy to go pick up their little girl, whom they had been waiting for so long, and yet, upon waking, they found that my dad's mother, who lived with them at the time, had passed away, tragically, in her sleep. A completely bittersweet morning. They had lost my dad's mother, and they were becoming parents all in the same moment. They went to pick me up. I was their savior, and they were most certainly mine. Choosing your perspective. I choose to begin my story here because the day I went home with my parents is a true example of the balance found in life. There are the highs and the lows. There is good and bad. They coexist. On any one day, in any one moment, you always have both. At times, of course, life is weighted more heavily to one end, but both are always present. I have always considered being adopted as one of my greatest gifts. We know in life that the greatest gifts are not objects, things, or possessions. Someone, somewhere knew that I would have a better life and selflessly gave me up so that I may have it. That was always the way I viewed being adopted, as the most positive thing. Life is all about perspective. Outlook determines how you react or not to every situation in your life. You have the choice. You alone hold the power. You can choose to focus on your many blessings, on the abundant good that abounds in our world. Having this perspective will make the bumps in the road, the hard times, the challenges, the hiccups, that much more approachable. It will make the impossible feel possible. I am grateful that I learned this lesson on perspective at a very early age, for it truly shaped my outlook. I grew up acting out my adult life, the desire that we have at 5 and 6 years of age to grow up, to become just like our parents, to become an adult, to have a job, a purpose. For some, it's a toy car and playing race car driver, while for others, it's a kitchen and playing mom. Well, for myself, that acting out meant rows and rows of stuffed animals sitting in front of me or around me. Yes, I used to be a brunette, letting me teach them all different things. That is the path I took and came to define what I would ultimately choose. Persistence is key in meeting any goal. If you keep your goal at your forefront, if you keep working hard and moving forward, you will always end up farther than from where you started. Always persevere. I met my goal the day I received my master's degree in education. I had always dreamed of wanting to be a teacher. I can't ever remember wanting to do anything else more. Finally, my dream came true. At the age of 22, I was hired as a teacher. My first year teaching was everything I imagined it to be and more. The end of August arrived. Miss Roig, room 12, clearly displayed on the plaque next to the door. I could not have been more proud. 18 first graders filed into our classroom. I don't know who was more excited, them or me. We spent our first day learning the routines of our classroom, learning each other's names, having snacks, sharing about our summers, eating lunch in the cafeteria for the very first time. It was official. We were a class, and it was even better than I could have ever imagined. I spent the next 7 years gaining a myriad of teaching experiences. I did as teachers do. I kept learning, kept growing so that I could better serve my students and do my job. I began my 6th year at Sandy Hook, happier than I had ever been. I had just gotten engaged over the summer, and life and its possibilities seemed truly endless. Anyone who has been engaged to marry the love of your life knows that it is a daily countdown. 352, 264, 183. On December 14th, 2012, that countdown came to a screeching halt. That morning I awoke, ready to tackle the day. It was Friday, and the weekend lay in front of me. As I hurried to leave, something stopped me in my tracks, and I looked out over the water as the sun began rising peacefully. I put down my gym bag, my lunch, and my keys. I grabbed my phone, and I went over to the slider, pausing in awe of its beauty. I snapped a few pictures of that gorgeous sight. Even more excited to start my day, I rushed out the door. Not even 3 hours later, inside the walls of Sandy Hook Elementary, that sense of peace, calm, and happiness was forever changed. As my students and I sat in morning meeting, greeting one another as we do every day, loud, rapid-fire shots began over and over and over. As my classroom is the first in the school, I knew immediately that what I was hearing was a weapon, shattering large glass panes, bringing terror, pain, sadness, and immeasurable loss to a school full of light and love. The possibility that your life can change in an instant is, of course, always there. Sometimes fortuitously so, and others not. Switching lanes before your car is sideswiped, leaving your home moments before it burns to the ground, a miraculous healing after suffering a long illness. Of course, the change can also be for the worse. An unexpected drowning of a loved one, a head-on collision, an angry man entering a school with the only intention to take as many innocent lives as possible. What you must know on either side is that the possibility is always there. Knowing this, there are two things to take away. First, you must live your life in a way so that if it were your last moment, you would feel as well as possible at the choices and decisions you had made. And second, you are the one who holds the control of how to react to those unexpected situations. You can choose to react with anger, resentment, and hate, or you can choose to react with hope, love, and empathy. Whichever path you choose will define your life going forward. I knew that something very evil and very bad was in imminent proximity to my students and myself. How do you make a split-second decision in the second that you need to? For myself, the only decision I had to make was, do I want my students and I to survive? And the only answer to that was yes. I immediately got up, shut the door, turned off the lights. The door remained unlocked. We began piling into the bathroom, shots ringing out as if we were at war on a battlefield. Our colorful, vibrant, bright classroom faded immediately. We got in and we waited. It's a strange thing when life presents difficult, hard times. There is often an element of waiting. You are diagnosed with cancer and you wait for remission. You are in an accident and you wait for your prognosis. A loved one dies and you wait for the emotional pain to somehow be lifted. In waiting, you do have control over some things. And so in those moments, we had to choose hope. We had to choose faith. We had to choose that we were going to make it out. As anyone, things happen to us in our lives that impact us, influence us, change us. We do not have control over what happens to us, only in how we choose to react to it. As is in one of my favorite books of Mice and Men, the best laid plans often falter. I could have never planned for the events of December 14th, 2012. And in the aftermath, finding myself on a very new path with no plan, I had to make a conscious choice to heal. After enduring the worst tragedy anyone could ever imagine, I had to make this conscious choice to focus on my healing, to focus on helping my students make sure that this event did not define themselves moving forward. I am an ordinary person. I am just like you. I am a wife. I am a runner. I sat where you are 10 years ago today. I am someone who, after experiencing tragedy, had to make a conscious choice about how to approach that. I had to choose a path for my own healing. I had to choose to focus on the abundant good that is always around. In your life, you will go through hard times. You will have times where you are left lost and alone. You will find times that do not go as planned. However, we each must set our own course. We must hold on to hope during the tough times, especially during the tough times. Always go after what you want and what you believe to be important. Work hard at it. Know that we can accomplish great things together because, in fact, in life, we are all connected. As Gandhi many years ago so wisely said, you must be the change that you wish to see in our world. Believe me when I say that you can make all the difference. Always know your purpose. Always choose your perspective to overcome your hard times and hold on to hope in them so that you can be the change in our world. It is truly an honor to be here with you today. Thank you very much.